Anyone out there? La 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 la. Anybody out there? I'm just gonna drink my tea. So for anybody who's watching this on the replay, you'll see that my ceiling is finished. It is not perfect by any means, but it's been finished. I've started my bed platform. So I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. Hello. Okay, I see D Huffman. I see Chanel. Let me know if you can hear me because I've had sound issues on these lives before. And now it seems like using my old tablet, which is the only thing I use it for, is the because when I use other devices, they don't work. And so I have this old tablet with a cracked screen, which makes no difference on your end, but it seems to be the only device that behaves when I go live on both audio and video. Where'd that cat go? Oh, there he is. Somebody asked about Mickey. So right there under the bed platform, you'll see him right there grooming himself. Woo! Got people in the house. How's everybody doing? How's the weather in your area? Like, I know there's been a lot of heat waves in a lot of places. So like, how's the heat or the cool? Are you comfortable? Are you dying? Are you like running for the AC? Like, what's going on in your neighborhood? I'm drinking some tea. This was a gift from a subscriber. And it says DawnofVanlife, but it's kind of faded at this point. Dee says, "Oh, I have 2 grandkitties. Don't know the sex of them yet. Oh, adorable baby kitties." Apparently, Elam says it's not bad in Michigan. Miss J says hot in the van in VA. Hope you're finding ways to cool down. Cool here in Boston, Jacinta says. In Florida, it's chilling in the 90s. Yeah, that's like not a great temperature. So people jumping into the chat. So I've officially finished my ceiling. It's not perfect. Also, there's like some stray glue that I need to clean up still. But the whole ceiling is up now. So that's the back of the truck. And as you come towards the front, there's the front of the truck. So, feeling happy that that's done. It's really hard to put up something on the ceiling by yourself. Like, I cut a 2x4 tall enough to like reach the roof. And then I propped the 2x4 up on one side and held the other side and attached it. Then I went to the side and then I attached it. And so that was exhausting. And it actually took me 2 different days. Not 2 consecutive days, but it took me 2 different days to actually finish it up. And then I had to trim out that trim piece for the fan. And I also added a little piece of track there just to hide the cable running backwards. So yeah, I know I could have hid it underneath the ceiling panel, but then if I ever had to access it again, it would have been underneath the ceiling panel. So I'm deciding not to do that. I did the same thing over there. Like, I have a track that's running from the fan to the wall. It covers up the cord. It still looks semi-neat. And then I'm going to put some other trim here to hide these cords. Those little blue things were to mark where I could screw in the ceiling panels. So I need to take that tape down. It's just painter's tape. I just haven't gone up there to take it down yet. It'll come off real easy. Like, painter's tape pulls just right off. And then I started my bed platform, which I've talked about a lot. But now it's officially kind of framed out. I'm going to put some more supports in the middle. Right now, it's just supported on the ends. And basically, this is a bunk. Well, sorry, Mickey. I scared the poor cat. He's like, what the hell, Mom? with you these days. There's so many noisy things. But this is a bunkie board that I'm basically going to attach to here. And it has metal slats that are also going to go in there. But just so I can manipulate myself around to attach whatever I need to attach. They're not in yet. I still got a lot of work to do on this, and I won't be able to do it till I get back to the storage unit. Like I said, there's going to be some more middle supports here left and right of the door. But I'm excited to have finally started building my bed platform. Obviously, there's going to be a more detailed video on it down the line, but I can't really go live without showing you what's changed about the box truck, because you're going to see it. I used to try to like hide it. I was like, okay, I haven't done a video about that yet, so I'm going to sit in this corner where nobody can see that thing that changed. But now, like, the changes are just so massive, I'm like, if I don't talk about it, I'm not going to be able to go live. And I'm trying to find a measured way of getting more edited videos out, because I enjoy those. But also, like, if I didn't go live today, you guys probably wouldn't have heard from me for another week. So I'm live. Whew, okay, that was a lot of talking. Chanel Perez says it's in the low 90s in Southeast Texas. Mickey, I can't see the chat if you're walking in front of it. He like doesn't care. I can't see the chat now, Mickey. He's like, you scared me. I was chilling. And now he's like, there we go. Ha, there we go. I'm moving it, Mickey. Let me see. There he is. He like sat right in front of the camera. He's like, you woke me up, I was chilling, and then you made a loud noise, so screw you. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, so let me scroll back. It's hot in Oklahoma, Tammy says. She doesn't even have a number. D. Huffman says, Miami missed a hurricane hit, but Cubans are gathering and packing boats to take supplies to Cuba. Crazy, but needed. Wow. 90s in Maryland. Good Maryland. It likes to be super hot or super cold. Howdy, it says, howdy from Niger, Africa. The weather is beautiful here. Well, that's good. Rain every few days, mountain clear here. Oh, wow, D, I'm sorry to hear you're sheltering in a closet due to a tornado warning. I hope everything turns out okay. ESP and me says it's 66 degrees here in Anchorage, Alaska. It's been rainy the last few days. Samantha, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Coffee, drink, or kitty treats? Probably, no, he doesn't actually need kitty treats. You see that? Wait, where's that shelf? Yeah, it's this one right here. That one right there, most of that is kitty treats. But I still end up buying the ones I know he likes whenever I run across them in the store. D. Huffman says, Dawn, you are the woman. I would have used Preston stick tiles. You see those things? Where are they? Over there? Those are Preston stick tiles. But that's the only place I use them. Like putting the tea in the camera again. Also, this wallpaper back here. Sorry, the light's like right here. This wallpaper right here. I have torn it up in a couple places, and it's mostly my fault, but I'm just going to get a couple more rolls, and I'll be able to just replace it. I always knew the wallpaper was a wonky thing, and because I'm still building and like pulling stuff out and bringing stuff in, like I've poked it a couple times. Mickey has scratched at it. So I'm either gonna switch it out or replace it. I don't know, but I'm not gonna touch it until like the build is done. Like you can hardly notice it except for the places where I know it's messed up. But that was something I expected to have to like replace on occasion because it's basically just a peel and stick wallpaper, which means it's basically like contact paper, which means there's gonna be points where I have to replace it. But it's the easiest thing to use on a roll-up door because it'll roll with the door. And I think once I'm not building in here and accidentally like poking things into it, it might be better. Thank you. I'm gonna guess your name is Nyla Zion. The ceiling looks good. Thank you so much. Dez is in the chat. What's up, Dez? So the not super chat money that you sent me last time I went live, I just want you to know it went to getting me my 4-camera setup for the truck. I haven't put them in yet because I need to take care of some things before I can actually install it. But I have it. I'm confident I can install it myself, and that way I'm gonna have cameras on all 4 sides of the truck. So thank you. That was something I was waiting to buy, and I had it earmarked out because I wanted a 4-camera that I had on all corners of the truck. So thank you so much, Des. Because of you, a lot of things are safer in the truck. Chanel says you look and sound like you're feeling much better. It lasted about as long as a cold usually lasts. I mean, that's the hard part about this stage of the COVID pandemic is like a lot of the symptoms are the same as just getting sick. And like when I do get like a summer cold, it ran its course in about the same time this did. And so I didn't want to overly panic for something that just turned out to be a cold, and I think it was. And I also think it was some stress, and I think the two things mixed, and it just wasn't a good time. Trucker Mayat 444 says, "Are you a digital nomad?" That depends on how you define that. I mean, do I have a completely location independent job all the time? No. But I do kind of do YouTube, and technically I make money from that sometimes, and sometimes that's the only thing I have coming in as income. What I do is freelance work. So I get hired on a contractual basis, and while I am under that contract, I am obligated to be in that area because that is location-based work, i.e. just now I finished up stage managing with Oakland Theater Project. That was location-based. I need to be in Oakland to do it. And it was around the same, it was at the same time that I was building out the truck. And because I have a storage unit in this area, and that's where half of my build materials are, I'm going to be staying in this area until I get to the point that I can move out the storage unit. So that's basically what I'm trying to get to. When I get to the point where I can move out the storage unit and close it, it won't mean the box truck is done. When I get to that point, then I can go somewhere that's not the Bay Area, but until then I'm kind of tied to the Bay Area while I'm trying to get those things done. And so yeah, I don't know if that really answers your question. Do I have like a dependable location independent job? No. Am I sometimes only making money from YouTube? Yes. Like right now I am in a lull where I don't have anything else, and I'm 100% dependent on getting by on YouTube. And I do mean getting by, but I do have periods where I take contractual work. So that's the weird roundabout answer to that question. Donnie King says, "I love your box truck. I'm thinking of getting one." That's cool. I will say it is a little bit different from buying like a standard van. So just make sure you do your research. I would say if you have not driven a large vehicle, go rent a U-Haul if you can, or a Penske truck, or whatever you can rent as a regular person that's large, and just give it a drive and ask yourself if you can handle that amount of size all the time. Because there'll be no more small car, this is your house you're going to be driving around. Even if you rent a large RV, like a Class C, it'll give you like kind of a sense of what it is to have something that big on the road. So like if you can rent a large vehicle, that'd be good to do, because it's wonderful to have the actual like size of it as a house, but getting used to driving it as a vehicle is where that adjustment can come in if you've only driven like standard class vehicles. So just give yourself a chance to do that, but like it's worth it to get the space. Like I love the amount of space I have right now. So yeah. D. Huffman says, remember your thumbs up supports the channel. So yes, if you can take a moment just to pop out and give me a thumbs up, the algorithm loves it. When the algorithm is happy, my life is a little easier and I can pay for things like gas. Jacqueline said, your home is starting to look really nice. Thank you. D. Huffman, thank you for pumping up my Patreon. And Patreon already saw the ceiling, so like Patreon and YouTube memberships, you can do either one. Like as soon as I finish a project on the truck, because I finished the ceiling yesterday, I think, and sometimes they've known about things like a week or longer before like the rest of YouTube does, because as soon as I can take photos of something new to the truck, I usually do post that on Patreon or YouTube memberships. Just because taking a picture takes less time than filming and editing a video, and it's a way to like share, sort of the progress as it happens, because making videos just takes more time. I see people congratulate me on the cameras. Just hope I can install them. I'm not happy about having to drill holes for the cables. But it should be. I'm going to be happy to have that four-sided view, like even when I'm driving, to cover some more of my blind spots. I'm glad you were able to catch me live too, and I don't know why you're not getting notifications. Shay says, do you plan on changing cooking equipment since having a larger home? I've been using, this is my stove right here, my stove oven combo, which I've beaten up a little more than I'd like, but I got it really, really early into getting the box truck. I'm still not trying to use like things that require electricity. Like I'm not really an Instapot girl. I know people love their Instapots. I'm not hating on the people who actually know how to use them to make food. But it's not really something I'm like worried about having, I guess. So yeah. I am enjoying being able to stand up and prepare food, and where I have you guys now is like, this is my main, this is my main food prep countertop. So I am enjoying having like a countertop and then being able to go over to like a stove. Because in the minivan, for the people who remember my minivan days, I had like a folding table, and I used to pull that table from behind my bed, and then I would set it up in the little space in front of my bed, and then I'd have to pull like my stove from underneath the bed, and if I did things in the wrong order, something was blocking something else. It was I got by and I made it work, but it was a interesting game of Tetris to make food, and sometimes I just decided not even to get something because it was too hard to get, and I was like, you know what I got out is gonna work, because I don't feel like playing Tetris to get that thing that I forgot. So yeah. It's nice to have like this counter and the stove and sort of be able to kind of cook like semi-normal people. Penny Walter, hello to you in Kentucky, and just watching my videos and giving it a thumbs up and leaving comments, all that stuff helps the channel, and when the channel does well, that is helping me. like that is the most help you can give me, is to please the algorithm. The algorithm wants to see people watching my videos. They want to see people interacting with my videos. Thumbs up help. Comments help. Watching videos from beginning to end help. All that stuff helps. It keeps me relevant to this algorithm thing that the kids talk about all the time. I am not enough of a slave to the algorithm. Like I try not to be an algorithm chaser, because it can lead to a lot of frustration. Like this month, which is a month where I really didn't need it to happen, my what do you call it? My ad revenue is dropping in the toilet, and there's really nothing I can do about it. I don't know if it's an algorithm change. It might be my fault. I'm just not putting out videos that are getting as much attention. The audience just may have shifted there. I don't know. And so, like, it's an interesting relationship with the algorithm, which is why things like Patreon are really nice, because I know what that is, like, every month, whereas I have no idea what's going to happen with YouTube. You can make half as much as you did the month before, and you just got to live with it, which is why I like still taking jobs occasionally that are not YouTube. Like, I like having freelance work on occasion. I, right now, would not feel comfortable being like, I am a full-time YouTuber. Sometimes I'm only depending on YouTube because that's all I got coming in. But I don't see myself being like, I'm going to break out to full-time, because I think, like, I just don't have the mental capacity to, like, chase the algorithm all the time. That being said, I still need the algorithm, so like, comment, subscribe, all those things the kids say you should do on YouTube. Okay, let's see. Des the Hobo Traveling Nurse asks, what type of insurance will cover the house section and the vehicle? Once I get it converted to RV, which is my long-term plan, it'll just be on RV insurance. The thing is, you have to be like, it's a self-converted RV, but once it's legally an RV, I can get RV insurance on it, and it's like any other RV. The same thing you would do with like a bus or any other type of commercial vehicle that you converted. Which is, hopefully, everybody wish for me, hopefully I'll be able to take care of that soon. I don't want to get too far into it, because let's just say I'm walking a path. Abby Lynn says, create a TikTok to increase your streams on revenue. I don't know that I understand TikTok. So like I don't know. And like TikTok, they're from what I understand from another YouTuber I watch, there's good and bad about it compared to YouTube. And it's like a whole new platform for me to learn and understand. And I don't know that I have the brain capacity to even understand it. Like, I've never been on TikTok. I just hear the kids talking about TikTok. Excuse me, guys. I'll be right back. You can look at my wall for a second. Alright. I'm back. Like, I hear the kids talk about TikTok, but I've literally never downloaded the app, never been on it, don't actually understand what it is, except that it's kind of short form video platform, and a lot of people who dance a lot have gotten like famous off of it. But I know that's not the only thing on the platform. But even still, I've literally never been on TikTok. Like, I don't even know how it works. That's how old head I am. Boomer. What's this ticky-tock that the kids are talking about? The ticker-tock? What's a ticker-tock? Earl says, how do you deal with the earthquake while you are driving the box truck? Well, honestly, I've heard there's been some earthquakes. I haven't felt it. And sometimes the truck shakes when like bigger vehicles drive past it when it's parked. I haven't yet been driving and dealt with an earthquake. I've heard there was an earthquake, and I don't know if like I felt it or I felt it and thought it was like a bigger vehicle driving by. or not. Like, I haven't like personally gone through, oh my god, the earthquake while I'm in the box truck. So I haven't really experienced it. D Huffman. Oh, it's pointing out that. Thank you, D, for answering that question. RV insurance covers more of your personal items. The company I used had different levels. Thank you, D, for getting back to that RV insurance question. And yes, once I'm legally qualified as an RV, I can get RV insurance on the truck, as it were. And then from there, like any other insurance, you can decide your levels. Like right now, I have commercial insurance on it, and I had no choice. I have commercial insurance as a freelancer, and this is my commercial truck. And that is how it's insured right now. Once all the things are done, and it's legally an RV, I can get the RV insurance. Penny Walter says finding smaller rentals is non-existent. I've only found RVs for rent. Yeah, I've heard that is getting pretty tough to rent trucks. But I feel like a lot of things are going back to, I hate to say, quote unquote normal. Like when I got insulation for the box truck, I had to go to 3 different stores and like match my insulation to even get it done. I finally gave up and took what I could find. And then I went yesterday to Home Depot to get like different stuff, and I the insulation, and I'm like, they got a full rack of it now that I don't need it. So I don't know. So maybe other things will stop being weird. That may have nothing to do with the U-Haul trucks. I don't know why I went on that tangent. Kelly B says, wow, is that a bed frame? It is the beginning of a bed frame. I could not sleep on this if I wanted to. It's not fully stable yet. I did do some more stabilization today, and I'm going to build some a middle support, basically to the left and right of the door. So you would basically have a cavernous area this way and a cavernous area that way. And over there is where I'm going to build like my clothes storage. And on top, you can already see I got a couple of power stations up there. I'm going to build like a holder for my batteries up there. So yeah, I've started the bed platform. I finished the ceiling. Yeah. Let me see. Ooh, D is asking Des is thinking of going bigger. Well, she be going from a car to a box truck. That's a lot. Scrapping Fox 214 says, how do you take care of hygiene, showers, etc. in the box truck? The same way I did in the van and the minivan and the car before that over the last 3 years. On a daily basis, I warm up some water on the stove, in a bowl, get a washcloth, and I wash all the relevant areas. I've done videos on this. There's a few videos, if you scroll through my videos, that are blatantly about me washing up, but I've been washing up out of a bowl most days since I had to start living in my car, and I still do that mostly on a daily basis. I do have a surprise coming up concerning showers as far as the future of the box truck, but I used to have a gym membership. I canceled it during COVID because even when the gyms opened back up, there was no guarantee the showers were open, especially at first. So I just canceled the gym membership because I wasn't going to play is there a shower when I could just take $10 to $12 to a truck stop and then just do a shower there. So that's the other thing I do. So I used to have a gym membership and I would use the shower there, just not every day. Because I would just do a wash up or a bird bath or whatever the heck you want to call it. It was soap and water. And the big thing I did when I went to a shower was really just a hair day to make sure I got my hair and all that other stuff. And where was I? And then after I canceled the gym membership, I just went and paid for a shower at a truck stop occasionally. And when I didn't do that, bowl of water, washcloth, and soap. Even before I lived in a vehicle, I've had to do that. Like, I've been in roommate situations where, like, there was no time to, like, fully get in a bathroom. Or, like, when I was younger, after my mom adopted my sisters, there were 6 girls in the house, my mom, and 1 bathroom. And sometimes getting out the house in the morning, all you had time to do was, like, run some water in the sink, put some soap in there, put it on a washcloth, wipe your body down, and get, you know, put on your etc. And then you have to go in your room and do like your lotion and your deodorant and like all the other stuff while somebody else was using the running water in the bathroom. So even before I like lived in a vehicle, I had already adjusted to the idea that it's not necessary to pour 20,000 gallons of water over your head every day to wash the critical parts, as it were. So like transitioning that adjustment to living in a vehicle is just something I've, you know, done. That being said, I do have a shower surprise coming down the road, but I don't want to get into it until like the build is further into that phase. Thank you, D, for continuing to push the thumbs up. Sasha, thank you. Good to see you are feeling better, she said. Dawn Saunders said, can you hire a talent agent to help with sponsors? There are companies that handle sponsors. I personally have never sought out a sponsor. Any sponsorship I've done or reviews I've done, people have come to me, and I just feel weird about it. Like, there's stuff where I'm like, maybe if I had sent an email, I would have been able to get, like, I don't know, something for the build. But I don't even know how to justify, like, writing the email. Like, I don't know what I would put in it. So it's sponsorship I've sought out. I've been grateful for the sponsorships I've been able to do, which really has only been 2. There's only been 2 legit sponsorships, and that's Jackery and the Skillshare one I'm doing now. And I feel like Skillshare is in a middle of a big promotion because I'm seeing a lot of people do Skillshare ads now. So I don't know, and like that'll run out. That was like a 6-month deal or something like that. And Jackery, the same thing. There's a contractual point where it runs out where they can renew the sponsorship or not. And I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't ever want to feel like I'm obligated to like sell something to keep a sponsorship. And as for reviews, it's like you can send me the product and I'm going to give my honest opinion on it. And that's going to be the end. Like, there's no money involved. It's just the product. Which is why it's a whole weird world. And I want to be able to, like, allow it to help me support myself. But at the same time, don't get so deep into it that like it becomes this extra thing I have to chase. And I don't know and there's people out there who will scam you, and that's why I like when a sponsor comes to me, because then I can just deal with that as a one-on-one relationship, and it's not me trying to get as many sponsors as possible, while this third party is also trying to like make money on the deal as well. Cause I don't have that much money. Like the line between me and like severe homelessness is this thin. But there's this YouTuber who he's very big, but he does movie reviews, and I love him because he's honest. And he was like, you know, honestly, I just got lucky. If this hadn't worked out, I don't know what I'd be doing for a job. And, you know, he's very good at his job. And it was nice to hear somebody, like, honestly admit it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with this. It's a very unsecure position to be in. Went on a tangent there. Janet says, hello, Dawn. Stay cool. It's hot here in New Jersey. Can't wait till fall. I am with you. I'm looking forward to the fall. Granny Peacock says ceiling looks awesome. Thank you. BW says, hi Dawn, I'm a local fan and have seen you out and about. Thank you for not saying where. I really hate that when people say, if you saw me It is perfectly fine. But please do not go in the comments section of the video and be like, hey, Dawn, I saw you in Pacifica last week. Because it really starts to give people a location-based way to track you. So just never go in my comment section and say, I saw you at specific location. I will love you if you never do that. However, if I am outside of my truck or sitting in the driver's seat, I do not mind talking to people who run across me randomly. I mean, that's how I met Paulette. And meeting Paulette was great, and I really need to reconnect with her, but I've been in tunnel vision trying to get to the point where I can actually like leave town now that I have the time to leave town. So I've had tunnel vision on that, so I haven't really been good about socializing since the show closed, because it's like, all right, we're gonna finish the truck now, but we still have to do these other things. So I don't mind. And if it's daytime and you even knock on the truck, I don't mind. If it's like the middle of the night and you go, but best case scenario, if I'm just walking down the street, or if I'm sitting in my driver's seat, honestly, and you just like wave and try to get my attention, and I'm not like zoned out like an idiot, like that's totally fine. Yeah, I think that's my deal. The only thing I don't like is when people go in the comment section and specifically name a place, which has happened, and I've even deleted the comments, not because they were mean, but it's like I didn't want anybody else to see that and use it, especially because of the incident I had with like my van getting spray painted and that thing. So yeah. Maxine says, Dawn, have you decided what kind of heat you're going to have for the winter? Yes. And if you haven't seen my past video where I mentioned it, I will be doing a specific video about it. Half Grid Homestead says, we insure a bus out back to the business. The business uses it for tool storage, decent pricing. Okay. Dawn Saunders said, I love TikTok. It's so much fun. I have been neglecting my Instagram, which I was doing a decent job of, so I just don't think, especially in the middle of my build, I can handle any more social media. Like, I'm barely holding on to this YouTube channel. So for me, if I dealt with TikTok, it would be after the build. It's not something I can handle during the build, because like I said, I'm unfamiliar with it. I don't know how it works. I don't know how you post on it. I don't even know how you watch videos on it. I don't know how videos get recommended on it. I know literally nothing about TikTok. And even if I downloaded it now, I'd probably ignore it until the end of the build because so much of my energy is there. So adding something new that I would have to learn, is just not something I see myself doing. But I haven't like taken it off the table. I'm just saying like right now in the middle of the build, probably not. There are so many like private messages I need to get back to that I haven't, because like it's just where my energy needs to be right now so that I have a house in the timeline I'd like to have it. It's just complicated. But TikTok, I'm hearing you, after the build. It will not be during the build, just because I'd have to like understand the platform before I'd feel comfortable posting on it. Half Grid Homestead says, never been on the TikToks. Me either. When I started hearing about TikTok, I was like, what's a TikTok? I sounded like one of those old people. Those kids with those Insta feeds and Uber tubes. What's a TikTok? Dakota, I didn't mean to quest over your, whatever. Roll over your quest, pass over, that's the word. Mickey is like surprised every time, like, I bring him back to the truck and something's different, he just usually walks around and examines it all. But like now he loves it. Cause it's like he can walk across here, cause he can walk across here now. Get in that window. He can get on here. He can get over there. He can get up on that shelf. He can literally jump between these two shelves. Like I thought I needed to put like a bridge there. I have seen him jump from there to there, and I've seen him jump from like the fridge all the way down there to like up there. And I'm like, okay, but I'm still gonna add like another cat thing there. So like once he like does his, all right, you changed it again. Let me check this place out. After he like examines everything, he usually likes it because there's more places for him to like jump and run about. Like giving him those vertical levels are like really important to me. So like the reason I got these is because I bought these from Target, is that it still gives me something to store stuff in, but also gives him a cat shelf. So instead of being one thing, it's two things. It's still storage for me, but it's also a cat shelf for him. Which is why I will not have any shelves that don't allow him to get up as high as he possibly can. Like having like a cat path around the top of the truck is like really important to me. Honestly, Mickey is one of the reasons that I wanted a bigger vehicle, cause like just me is one thing, but like the cat has stuff, and the cat also likes having his levels. And in the van, in the Chevy van, he had his cat tree, but you see how big that cat is? I don't know where he is right now. Oh, there he is. He's back there sleeping. Of course he's right underneath me. Not the minivan, because I didn't have a cat in the minivan. I got him while I was in the Chevy van. In the Chevy van, he had the cat tree and like the shelf beside my bed, and that was it. Like when he was in the truck, that was as much as he could like walk around. And he had gotten kind of big for the litter box that I had for him originally, so he needed a bigger litter box, so that area was becoming like just this litter box area. And so I really wanted him to have like these levels to really like when we're stuck in the truck, especially right now while I was working in the city, where honestly we weren't getting out as much as possible. Now my contract's over. One of the reasons I'm trying to push through this build so hard is that we can leave and like actually experience nature in the world and stuff. But like I wanted him to have more space too. So it wasn't even just about me and standing up, which was all nice and everything, and other goals that I've talked about. It was also about him. Like I just wanted him to have more space to like have these levels to like run around. So when we are kind of confined to the house, as it were, because we don't have a choice, he can still move around more than the limited area he had when we were in the van. So I feel good about that. And my whole logic in getting a cat was, they don't never get that big. And then like, number one, I forgot cats have stuff too. The cat itself doesn't get that big, even though he's kind of a big cat. But also like they have stuff and needs as well. So in adjusting to not only my needs but his needs, I just felt like it was time for a bigger space. Also, like if you're going to do full-time long-term, I feel like there's always like it's fine to start out non-standing, and there are people who go years non-standing, but I feel like that desire to stand up and then suddenly being able to do it always feels good. And that was a long. This is why, like, I don't get to everything right away. Miss VKC says, when driving during an earthquake, you may think your wheels need alignment. Okay, good to know. Joe Healy says, your ceiling panels look like the same panels I use for my walls. They might be. They came from Home Depot. And for anybody who doesn't know, this isn't actually wood. It's what's called a project panel. Just because that was easier for me to do. And so it actually is just 3 panels that are 4x8, and I got them from Home Depot. And so 1, 2, 3, and just cut out the holes where I need to cut them out, like for the ceiling fan and all like my my cord exits back there. B Diva 101 says, are you doing a housewarming live? I'm thinking about it, but I'm not there yet. So while it feels like I've made a lot of progress, there's still like a list of things I want to do before I call myself like travel ready done. The big thing though is getting here. Like this is a major thing to get to the point where I've started the bed platform. It's not sleepable yet because it just doesn't have enough support. But just to have it up here and start it feels good. Video Wizard says, "Where's your fur baby?" He was around at the start of the live, but I'm just gonna bring you down here. That's his book bag. He likes to sleep in there. His choice. Doors open, as you can see, and he has gone back to napping. He's right underneath of me. Corley says, "So exciting to see your bed platform coming together. Thank you so much. You'll get some great storage out of it." What is the head clearance for your new bed? Don Saunders asks. I don't know. It's actually higher than I thought it was going to be because I'm building it based off the top of the door. And I realized once I get my mattress up there, I'm pretty much going to be laying up there. But I have, it's fine for the bed to be up here. I have literally from the end of this bed all the way to the back of the truck to stand up. So, like, if I was in a standing height van, I think it would be a big deal to have your bed really high. Because I'm in a box truck, I feel like it's less of a deal because I have so much space. One of the reasons I'm doing a platform bed is to retain as much floor space as possible for when I'm not in bed. I don't want the bed to, like, take over the space. I want to actually have an exit, like, when I had the minivan and when I had the regular van, the bed was where I always was because there was no place else to be. You go in the van, you're on the bed. Like, people talk about crawling around when you don't have a roof. I'm like, there was never anywhere to crawl. I literally, like, got in, I sat on the bed, and then I did stuff from the bed. Like, everything I did was, like, sitting from the bed. And so, like, I'm not really concerned about sitting in bed. So it's not, like, a big deal to me. If that changes down the line, anything I built, I can take apart and rebuild. That's how I feel about it. But I really like the idea of having basically a loft bed. Des says she's thinking about a van or a short bus. I gotta say, of those two choices, I'm on team short bus. The only thing that intimidates me about a bus is every time I watch somebody sort of deconstruct those, like the gutting before you actually start building, that's the part that I was like, let me try this box truck thing. But I like the actual, like, body space you get once you clear all that bus crap out in a bus. A van's cool too, but the thing about a van, the good and bad of a van is it's slimmer. So even if you get, like, a standing height van, you have that height, but you're slim. So a lot of times once you put in your cabinets and your bed and all that, you have this one little sliver of space that's walking in. Which is fine because the advantage is you're going to fit in everywhere pretty easily. People aren't really going to look too much at you. You're just another van. Like, Vanlifers care. And that's what we think, because Vanlifers care, and because we think people who watch van life videos care, we think everybody cares. I was in the car with my friend Kiara, who you guys saw, and I'm like, oh man, look at that Ram ProMaster. And she's like, what? I'm like, that right there. She's like, oh, the van? Like people who aren't into, like, the lifestyle are not thinking about it as much as you are. So the good thing about a van is, like, it mostly, like, passes people's eye without too much thinking about it. A bus and a box truck are just going to be a little bit wider. So you may have more challenging blind spots because, like, they box out from the front a little bit more depending on length. There's a lot of length, that you can get in a box truck or a bus, but that can be good and bad. It's good for building and good for living, but if you're not really comfortable driving around a large vehicle, it can be bad for that. As far as, like, finding parking, and this isn't even about the stealth thing, you're wider and you're longer, and so the parking is just going to become more challenging in conjunction with that. That's just a reality. The good and bad of everything. Earl says, have you heard anything about the propane generator? I have not heard on that, but they told me it would take up to 6 weeks. Spieve, have I kept in touch with the lady who lent me the money in the truck? She contacted me the other day. Are we like closest, bestest friends that talk every day? No, I'm very grateful. I was so excited when I was able to pay her back. But like we haven't like kept in constant contact or anything. Shay asked me, do I have a Amazon wish list for my box truck housewarming? No. Because I don't know what I would put on that. Corley, I agree with you. She's like Corley of Jump with No Fear. Says people are weird about not having huge amounts of water pouring all over themselves. It's just not necessary, and it seems like such a waste of water. Exactly. Like I can see doing that, with like when you really need to, like when you had like a really disgusting day. You've been out in the mud, you know, like maybe you've been on the beach and you're full of sand. I can see wanting to get that full rinse off, but like daily basis, if you take soap and water and you wash all the relevant parts, you're clean. Like you don't necessarily need like it doesn't take that. Cart Gamer, as far as like water, I still have the same 7-gallon jug that I took out of my van, and then I have 2 additional gallon jugs. I am also still in the city. I know where to buy water from. Also, there's places I can get water for free. So it's not like I'm stocking up to be out in the middle of nowhere. I do plan to modify my water system down the line, but buying an expensive large water tank is just not a priority right this second. When there's other stuff I still need to buy. So yeah. It's kind of like low on the list of like all these other things I need to get done first. Eventually I will have more water, but right now I have the same 7-gallon jug I had when I was in the van. I had 2 in the van. I left 1 in the van when I sold it, and then I kept 1 for myself, and that's all I've been using since I moved into the box truck. And then when I set up my sink, for now I have a temporary plumbing system, which is like a cheap little water pump, basically running between the sink and the 7-gallon jug. I haven't changed it at all. Same jug I had in it before. And then I have 2 extra gallons of water. Julie, sorry that I'm so slow, and that little super sticker is so cute. Thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Jocelyn asks, do I have AC? I do not have AC. I have 2 ceiling fans and some other little fans. Like I have this little gimbal fan right here, and then I have a USB fan over there somewhere. And then I just have my ceiling fans. I have 2 of them. 1 in the front and 1 in the rear. Both of them are made by, both of them are Max fans. They're just different ones. That one is like deluxe, the one that comes with the remote. The remote's over there on the wall. And then this one back here is just an exhaust fan. And it was cheaper. Honestly, it was priced because I really wanted 2 of those, but I couldn't afford it. So I got that one as a gift, and then I bought this one myself just because it was cheaper. And the holes are the same size, so if down the line I want to upgrade that one to a different fan, which I don't really see me doing, it does the job. The holes are the same size, so you literally just like pull it out the hole, replace it with the new one, and it's a really easy change out. Um, we still got a lot of conversation about TikTok, probably earlier when I was talking about it. Penny Walter says, "Where will you hide the litter box?" I feel like even if I describe it, it won't make sense. But basically, me and Mickey's toilets are going to be side by side. Oh, jeez, I'm like throwing this thing around. I can't see anything. But the litter box is pretty much going to be right where it is. It's just that Jackery won't be there, and I'm probably going to build my my dry toilet over there because I'm basically going to have a dry toilet. But I don't plan to hide it. It's going to be right there. It'll be hidden by the fact there'll be like a wall-ish here, and like my toilet will be over there somewhere. I have no idea what this looks like because I can't see the screen. But yeah, it'll be right there. And I'm gonna have a little dry toilet set up over there. Who's Jen, that is my bed that started. Mel Laxon, have you seen the Canadian Stealth channel? I have. I think we got our box trucks at the same time. Their box truck has a pretty cool loft bed. I've only seen a few of their videos, but I've seen the channel. Suzette Large said, "That's funny and true. I now eye all those work vans when sitting in traffic. ProMaster, High Top, Chevy Express. Oh, look, a Transit Connect. Stuff most people don't think about." Exactly. When we get fixated on something, we think everybody else cares, and like there's a bunch of people that literally do not care. Like when I'm like, when I started getting into vans, like I never paid attention to vans, and I'm like, oh crap, is that a RV? And doors would open and it'd just be a work truck, and it'd be so disappointing, but I'd still think the truck was cool or the van was cool. So yeah, that was always funny when I thought it was an RV, and then I got fooled. And that was always funny. But it's like there's so many people who don't pay any attention. They only pay attention if it's weird. Like it's weird if like this white van is sitting in your neighborhood all the time, it never moves, and you start seeing people coming out of it in things that don't look like they're working, and also the thing never leaves. So like that's gonna get you in way more trouble than what kind of vehicle you have. Like you can have almost anything, including a bus. Like I've seen buses parked on city streets. Like there's a guy in this parking lot that I'm in right now. He has a white shuttle bus. And I saw him go into it, and I really wanted to wave him down and be like, hey, what's up? But I missed him, and I don't want to be rude and start knocking on his door. But he has solar panels on the top. He has cameras around the side. He has all the signs. I've seen the little things on the outside that tell me that he converted it. But most people pay no darn attention to that shuttle bus. It's just a white, shuttle bus about as long as a van, except a little wider. And I'm curious what it looks like on the inside, but his windows are either tinted or blacked out from the inside. I can't tell, so you can't like really see in, which is good, but it also adds to like people just not paying attention. Like it takes 2 seconds of looking if you know what you're looking for to know that that's an RV and not a bus. But there's a bunch of people that don't care, and there's a bunch of people not looking close enough to even know. Like that's what it comes down to. They're like, okay, whatever, I don't care. As long as you're not hanging out in somebody's neighborhood and they think you might be there to kidnap their kids. That's what they don't like. Joanne Goodman says, I've been wondering where people get free water. Free water depends on where you are. Like, I've heard of people getting it, but I personally get free water from, I know people in town. That's where I get free water from. Otherwise, I go buy water. You can go to the Primo water fill. Glacier has a water fill, and it's usually like, I don't know, 35 to 55 cents a gallon sometimes. I've never seen it more expensive than that. And you just take your jug, you put it on the thing, you put your money in, and you push the thing. Now, if you have an RV, then you might have to go to like an RV like fill station, and then you just literally like put water in your water inlet, and it goes into your water tank. But as far as where I get free water, it's called I know somebody, and I'm in the area, and I ask, can I fill up my water? That's when I get free water. But most of the time, I'll just, like, if I need it and I'm running out, I just go buy it. And like I said, for the last few months while I'm doing the build, I'm in a city. Like, all I have to do, literally, I know at least like 4 or 5 supermarkets that have like water fills where you just bring your, like, it's for people who have those like water containers that you used to see in office buildings. Some people have those in their homes as well, and so they'll bring those in and fill those up. But anybody with a jug can fill it up. And sometimes you have like a machine outside. Sometimes you fill it up in the store, and then as you're checking out, they're in Walmarts a lot too. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And you just fill up your thing. You pay your however much per gallon, and then you head out. Oh wow, I've been on an hour. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon because yeah, it's 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna need to vacate this parking lot soon. Tyson F says, when are you going to start traveling? When the box truck is in a place where I don't have to run back and forth to my storage unit. Right now, most of my build stuff is in my storage unit, and it would make no sense for me to leave the stuff here and not be able to continue the build. So traveling right now does not make sense. I want to be in a place that even if I'm working on projects, it's stuff I can keep in the truck. I don't need the storage unit. So the answer is when I don't need the storage unit, which I'm hoping is soon. But I need to finish my build. At least to the point that I'm just doing small projects that don't require me storing stuff in the storage unit, which I'm not at that point right now. I see a lot of people are trying to sell Des a new vehicle. Earl, to answer your question, it was just luck that I ended up with a truck that already had a pass-through. If anything, I was looking for a truck with a side door, and I ended up not finding one. I really wanted one with a door on the side, and that's not what I ended up finding. And I found a bunch of crappy trucks that had nice boxes, but the trucks were crap. And I didn't want a truck that needed a lot of like mechanical work. So at some point my priority changed to whatever I could find that seemed like it had the best engine. And so I focused on that more than anything else, and I tried to be flexible in what kind of box I found, because I already knew, what's the words I'm looking for? I already knew I could build a pass-through if it wasn't in there. It's super freaking easy. It's literally just cutting a hole. You just cut a hole between the two areas. If there's a gap, you can put this thing called accordion belt on it and seal that up, and you're fine. I've seen a bunch of people do it with like no experience. ESP&Me said, before my office started doing telecommuting, I used to get free water from work. There you go. Now I buy my water. And that's how I am. When I have access to free water, like honestly, when I was stage managing the show, they had an outside water spigot. And I was like, can I fill up my water? And nobody cared. So I the whole time I was doing the show, I was just filling up when I could, when I felt like dragging the jug out to fill it up. And so I got a lot of free water while I was doing the show. And so when the opportunity was there, I took it. And when I have to buy water, a lot of van life is about being flexible. There is no universal answer. Like showers, there isn't one way that I wash up every day. It's going to change depending on the circumstances and access, but I have a way to clean up every day. Like my default is I will get a bowl of water with soap and water and just wash myself down. If I have access to a shower, if I have to intentionally go seek out the closest truck stop, I don't feel like right now, honestly, a gym membership is worth it to me to just take on that monthly fee when I've been able to sort that out. Also, like, while I have access to people, I can always be like, hey, can I just come over and take a quick shower? I'm not going to do that every day. I'm not going to anybody's house every day and doing that. But every once in a while, like, if I really need it while I'm in this area, people are always like, well, why are you staying in California? It's like, I have people here, not people who I'm going to drop by every day and be like a constant burden to them. But if I really need something, there are people I can call who I'm at least semi close to. And if that's why I tend to come back to this area. So it's like you have to be flexible because some things you have to go with the situation you're in. When I was like traveling across the country, when I stopped at a truck stop, I would just go ahead and like pay for a shower. If I was like parked out on BLM lane for a few days, then like I would do my wash tub baths. So it's like you change and adjust to the situation. Like there is no one answer. Getting water, if I have access to free water, I'm going to get it. If not, I know how to buy it. I know what to look for to buy it. If I have access to something that's going to help me charge up my batteries, I'll grab my batteries and charge them up. Now, right now, my batteries are Jackery batteries, but even when I had the van and I had an AGM battery, like I had a generator at not the show that just closed, but the show I did before that with Oakland Theater Project. They had a generator on site, so I plugged in the van like every day that I was parked and charged up my AGM battery. So it's just like constant adjustment to the situation. When you have the opportunity to get something, and it's not an imposition. It's more like, I don't know. It's like, I'm hanging out here or working here and they don't mind that I'm using this resource. Then it's okay to go ahead and like take that opportunity to get it for free. And when you have to go pay for it, just know how to go pay for it. If that means like if you're on the road and you need to plug in, you might have to cough up some money for an RV park for a few days. And it's not the end of the world if you have to do that occasionally while you're working through some situation. So yeah, I don't know. Ugh. Sorry. All right. I just walked off screen like whatever. I'm running my office. My office. It's because I looked at your comment, ESPN meme. I'm running my mouth, and I really need to wrap this up. Extraordinaire says some public parks have free water. Good point. In some areas, it's not a universal thing. So like, don't go like if you're at a public park and they have free water, or that area and that there's free water there. Great. But I think it's just not something you would depend on. Katie in New Hampshire says, does anyone knows the miles per gallon for a bus? Buses come in a lot of different sizes. And I'm not a bus expert, but I would say they're not all going to get the same MPG anyway. There are so many different engines and so many different sizes of buses. That is a huge question. And the same thing is true for box trucks. There's so many different kinds of box trucks. There's so many different kinds of chassis. You're not going to get as good a mileage as you get in a modern van. That's for sure. Like if your priority is MPG, a bus or a box truck is a bad choice. There's going to be better and worse choices in that category, but you're never going to do that great. You can just go better or worse. Pilgrim in Peace says, I'm watching from Western Australia. Sherry, I have not gotten back to exercising because all I've been doing is working a show and building the box truck. And now all I'm doing is building the box truck and trying to catch up with YouTube. And I don't really see me, honestly, if I'm honest, getting back to it until, again, I'm at a point where I can move out of that storage unit and I'm not killing myself trying to get this build to the point where I can move out that storage unit. I'm going to be completely honest. And during the show, I was eating terrible. I'm pretty sure I've gained some weight back. I've not ballooned up to my former weight. And this past couple of weeks, I've been doing really good about getting off of a lot of those bad habits. I ended up eating like way more fast food than I'd eaten in months. I was just around a lot more snacks. People were always offering snacks. I loved doing the show, but there's this social aspect to food, which isn't just true in theater, but there's this social aspect of food that it was really hard to be around while I was doing the show. On top of the fact that I was stressed, so I felt more tempted than I think I would outside of that situation. So there's a lot I need to get back on point with. I'm pretty sure I've gained some weight back. But I'm not letting it. It's like I need to get my house built first, and then I can concentrate on those things. I can't do it concurrently. It causes too much stress, and the best thing I can do for myself is just get my eating habits back on point, and then I can worry about exercise. Because exercise is just about fitness. Eating right is going to keep the weight off. And I know that. So, like, fitness is like, the icing on the cake. Why did I use cake? That's a horrible phrase to use for this. All right, I am going, Doug, good answer, but Doug says probably around 5 to 10 miles per gallon. That's a really good answer. That's in regards to the mileage for buses. So I'm going to sign off now because it's been over an hour. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. I do need to, get out of this parking lot in about an hour or so. So I need to make sure I'm ready to drive. It's been really good checking in with you guys. I look forward to showing you more videos about the build and sort of what I've been doing. So everybody have a good night. Thank you for popping in, and thank you as always for just watching the channel. All right, see you guys.